we're gonna get personal. Just a little bit. Hey guys, it's Jen. I'm gonna be answering some of your questions that you sent me. Thank you all for the people who sent me questions. All of your questions are gonna remain anonymous because I don't like putting people on blast. If I get hate comments in the future, I will put you on blast. So don't worry about that, honey. I might stop talking if I talk too much and if I go too far. We'll see. Okay, so starting with the basic of most basic questions, somebody asked, you look really young. How old are you? How old do you think I am? I am about to be 36, you guys. I am millennial to the bone, born in 88. I just love the double digit numbers. I grew up in the 90s. I feel old now with everything that's going on. About to be 36 in a few months, actually. That's scary. I'm so scared. I'm 4 years away from 40. Why? Oh my God. I'm surprised I'm still here. Like everything that's happened in life and I'm still here, right? Really? Okay, cool. Thanks. I had to have that coffee. I just drink it because it tastes good. I don't drink it to wake me up because it don't. All right, next. How did you come up with the name of your YouTube channel? Okay, so my YouTube channel has kind of bounced between two names, and Exploring with Anxiety was the first one that I did because my Instagram was Exploring with Anxiety, and I travel a lot. Right now I'm on hiatus just because of all the crazy stuff going on in my life, but eventually I will get back to that, hopefully soon. And I have anxiety, generalized anxiety disorder. So traveling with anxiety is really hard. I take a lot of stuff with me as a preventative, like CBD and other stuff. The most anxiety inducing part about traveling is the flying for me. And it's not that I'm scared of the plane. I'm scared of the people flying the plane because you're basically relying on two complete strangers to make sure you don't die. And it's just like, you don't know what mental state some people are going through sometimes. And it's kind of scary knowing that you're on a plane controlled by people you don't know what they're going through. So yeah, that's how I got the name of my channel. It switched to Jen Has Baggage for a little bit because, you know, I like puns and I like double entendres and whatever, but it just didn't fit. I think that because I talk about mental health so much on my channel too, I just changed it back to Exploring with Anxiety. And exploring is so much more general than just travel. I mean, you could explore in your hometown, you can do it. So that's where it came from. Now you know. And this person asked, when did you start traveling solo? My first solo trip was in 2021. I've traveled a lot before that. Like I've been to Jamaica, Mexico with my girlfriends like since 2018 or 2017 or something. I started traveling solo when I had the means to do so, which was in 2021. I was working remote. We were allowed, like it was all cool. It was great until, you know, they had layoffs. You get good stuff and it gets yanked out from under you, right? It's cool though. That's life. So yeah, first solo trip was in 2021. And my first time I ever traveled solo, I went to Costa Rica because I had been there before with my girlfriend. And so I knew what I was getting into. I felt completely safe. I never feel anxious. I never feel unsafe in Costa Rica. Every time I land there, it's just like I'm home. Like it's my second home, you guys. I love it. But that was the first solo trip I took, was in San Jose, Costa Rica. Airbnb or hotel? You're good. It depends on the situation. I use Airbnb if I stay somewhere long term. I use Airbnb if I stay somewhere for a month or more because you can get discounts on Airbnb. And some of the hosts actually, like if they know you're staying there longer term, they will work with you to do something outside of Airbnb to let you rent their place on a monthly basis for less than Airbnb, because Airbnb has all these BS fees. And that's what I hate about it. And Airbnb, if you're listening, please stop jacking up the fees. Thank you. It's different in every country. In Mexico, they have extremely high real estate tax. And so if you book an Airbnb in Mexico for like, say, $1,000 a month base, when you pay at checkout, your total's probably going to be $500 more because of those taxes. Now, when I book an Airbnb in Costa Rica, and I don't know how long it's going to last, the base price is what you see is what you get, give or take, you know, $50 or something. But it depends on the country you go to. So it depends on A, the length of time I stay, and B, the country I'm going to. I get hotels when I go to a place that's new that I don't really feel that comfortable in, or I'll get a hotel if I need to stay somewhere for a short amount of time before I can actually get into my Airbnb, because sometimes lives and you're going to need a fallback plan. So that's what I did this last time I was in Costa Rica. I stayed at a cute boutique hotel for a week before I got into my Airbnb. I can't really advise somebody either way. It depends on who you are, what you want out of your trip, and your budget. And I think for long term, Airbnbs are more budget friendly. For short term, hotels are good, especially if you don't know the destination you're going to. There's no amenities in Airbnbs. You are SOL, you are on your own, girl. Like in an Airbnb, it's somebody's house. I mean, you're on your own. You got to get your own transportation, whatever, everything, get your own food. Yeah. But personally, I love Airbnbs, and fingers crossed, I have never had a bad experience in one. I don't know, all these people who are saying they've had bad experiences, I can't relate because I've never had that. But also, you have to be very careful when you're choosing an Airbnb. You need to do your research about the host. You need to do your research about the actual location of the building. You need to do your research on Airbnb, and that will help you avoid the pitfalls that people constantly come across. It's a tie between the two depending on my situation, but Airbnb, I rank slightly higher than a hotel. What was the first country you visited abroad? You guys can guess. I mean, it's easy. Mexico. Mexico is right there. It's so easy. And the only reason I visited it first was because there was a festival there. I don't know if they still do it. I don't know if this company is still in operation, but it's not mainstream. It's like very, very niche crowd. It's like jam bands and, like think the Grateful Dead, electronic, not EDM, but like jam electronic, stuff like that. And it was on the beach in Riviera Maya, and we stayed at what hotel was it? Like the Sapphire or something? I don't know. It's next to Dreams. It was really fun. It was all inclusive. So we got the food, we got everything. The drinks were flowing. Girl, let me tell you about those drinks. There was one night where I think I drank so much mezcal that I didn't know I burned myself on the buffet. And when I woke up, I had a huge blister in between my fingers. And I was like, oh my God, is this a spider bite? And my friend was like, nah, girl, you burned yourself on the taco tray. The tacos got me, man. They burned my hand. I was so excited about that. I went back to Mexico last year and I stayed for a little over a month. But Playa del Carmen this time, not Puerto Morelos, which was where I stayed last time. This person asked, what is your star sign? Oh, I knew you guys were going to ask this. I'm not really into astrology that much. I just have a base knowledge about it. And my friend actually sent me my astrological chart the other day, which was really interesting. I looked at it and I'm like, yeah, that's pretty spot on. My star sign is a Sagittarius, and I know my moon is a Sagittarius and my rising is Pisces. So I am a double Sagittarius, you guys. I am literally, that's why I have a temper, I think. I'm just like, I mean, I don't have a temper. I just have a very short leash sometimes, and it makes sense. I'm fiery. I'm fiery on the inside. But then everyone says they love SAGs. Like, we're fun. Like, and that's why I travel all the time. I move around a lot because that's a characteristic of Sagittarius, I think. We don't like being in one spot a long time. We don't like putting roots down. I love that I'm a double SAG. I brag about it sometimes, like, I'm better than you. No, everyone's great in their own way, but I'm a SAG Pisces rising. I'm also very philosophical, which is a huge quality of Sagittarius. I am always thinking on a deeper level. I am just that way. I've always been that way. Which country have you visited the most? You guys would know this if you watch my channel, Costa Rica. Like, I always go back to there. Like, I don't know what it is. I always feel this pull to go back to Costa Rica. I've been to Jamaica, I've been to Mexico, I've been to Belize, I've been to Bahamas. I've been pretty much in a lot of places, like in the Caribbean area in general. And I always go back to Costa Rica. I haven't been to Europe yet because I have not gotten the chance yet. Literally, I was planning a trip to Italy with my friend in 2020. And we all know what happened in 2020. We had our Airbnb booked. We had our flights coming. And then COVID was just like, bitch, you thought. We had to cancel everything. So I almost went. But I'm planning on going there because that's where my family is from. My family is from Naples and Sicily, Italy, and I really want to go and just eat all the food and experience the culture. I think my great great grandparents came over here from Italy. So what does that make me? Fourth gen, I don't know. But I've recently found out that I can get Italian citizenship through my great-great-grandparents, which is crazy to me. And I'm like, dude, let me do this. Like, literally, let me do this. That's the best way to go about citizenship. Be like, yeah, my family was from there and I can prove it. Give me the citizenship. That got way off track from the initial question. So yeah, initial question, answer, Costa Rica. I've been there the most, 3 times. What is a good place for women to travel solo? I'm assuming this means country, because you can travel solo literally anywhere. I mean, you can travel solo in your backyard, girl, just set up a tent, you're good. I think the best country for women to travel solo is really anywhere that is not experiencing any type of turmoil in the present. If you go and you're aware of your surroundings and you are a smart traveler and you're not dumb and you don't get involved in stupid crap like drugs or anything like that, play stupid games, win stupid prizes. I mean, hello, like it bothers me to the core when people are like, oh, Mexico's dangerous for American, blah, blah, blah. It's not. You know why these people are getting caught in this stuff? It's because they're doing drugs. It's because they're going places they're not supposed to be. It's because they're being dumb. Sometimes you can get caught in a crossfire and it wasn't even that you were targeted. It's just you were in the wrong place at the wrong time. But when people say that other countries are more dangerous than the US, that's the look I give them. They're just ignorant. You need to go and watch my video about the crime statistics for other countries in the US, and I can tell you they're wrong. If you're a female, do not go to Egypt alone. Do not go to Morocco alone. Do not go to any of those areas like in Africa, because at least alone, like don't travel there solo. I've heard so many stories of women going there solo and being harassed, being targeted for like trafficking, all that stuff. So it really depends on who you are, what your expectations are, and if you're a smart traveler or not. Okay. Feet pics. I am not above it. The bar is low and I have no shame. I'll upload feet pics for $100 pop. But sir, calm down. Thank you. How tall are you? So I'm actually not tall. I'm small. I am 5'3". Fairly tiny. I was actually not growing when I was an adolescent, so I had to take growth hormone injections, which is so fun to admit. I love it. I love that for me. So maybe that's why like I look young too at like almost freaking 40 years old. I have that Benjamin Button syndrome or something. Like I just don't have the hormone that promotes growth of like bones, like whatever. So yeah, I had to freaking stab myself in the thigh every day when I was in high school so I would grow, because otherwise I would be 4'11", dude. Like I wouldn't even be 5'3" right now. I'm small but sassy. What is the best memory from your travels? Oh, I have so many. That's not a fair question. I have so many, so I have to pick one. Well, my best memory with my travels with my friends was definitely Costa Rica and the music festival I went to with my 2 girlfriends. Costa Rica, I went with my best friend in the whole world. We had such a good time. So in Costa Rica, they don't have Uber. We had to get an Uber from a recommendation from somebody at a restaurant. And he wasn't technically an Uber driver, but he drove us around Tamarindo the whole time we were there. And every time he picked us up, he would have Nicki Minaj blaring because he knew I loved her. And so whenever we would get in the car, I would start rapping her song. Then be that boom, 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 bang, got that super babe. Like literally, my favorite memory solo traveling would probably be in Costa Rica. I just made so many friends there who are Costa Ricans, and it's just so cool when you travel solo. You guys, you don't understand how easy it is and how nice it is to make friends like that. And they were teaching me more Spanish and I was teaching them English in return. And that was my favorite memory of traveling solo. And now every time I go back there, like I meet up with them again. What is my favorite song to listen to in the airport or just all time in general? Okay, I'm gonna go with all time. So my favorite song of all time, and this is like super white girl of me, is Mr. Brightside by The Killers. That is literally my rage / vent / dance around in my bedroom song. I was obsessed with Moulin Rouge when I was younger, and that song came out around, it was related to the movie, I think, because the music video. You guys know what I'm talking about, right? Jealousy, turning saints into the sea. Yeah, it's literally the song that gets me so hyped. What is your current music obsession? Okay, so currently, Chappell Roan is life. I'm obsessed with her. Listen to her songs. If you don't know who she is, My Kink is Karma, Red Wine Supernova, Pink Pony Club, and Casual is like a slower song, but I just love her. Like, I love her personality too. Like, girl, call me. Who was your first celebrity crush and who is your current one? Okay, this is a two-parter, so buckle up, Buttercup. We're gonna go on a ride. My first celebrity crush is really weird, and I swear it's not a kink, it's not like a weird fetish, but I don't know why I had a crush on it, but Aladdin was my first celebrity crush. I used to watch Disney movies so much, and like I was like, I want a man like Aladdin. Like when I was little. When I got a little older and transitioned to real people, Ewan McGregor was such an obsession for me because of the movie Moulin Rouge. It came out in 2001. I was the ripe old age of like 13. I was obsessed with him. He had me in a chokehold for like a good couple years. He was a massive, massive crush. My current celebrity crush, you guys know who it is. I mean, I've said it. Nicola Coughlan. Everything that I've seen from her, I watch all her interviews. First time I saw her was Dairy Girls. I'm sure that's the first time a lot of people saw her, but I didn't just catch on to Dairy Girls. Like, I watched it when it came out, and I was like her character just got, I was like, man, I love this girl. Like, I cannot, like, I love this girl. You can just tell, like, she just effervesces that thing, dude. And I love her so much. Like, I would literally date her so hard. I would put out a 5-course meal for this girl. Okay. I would get her some cake. I would make that cake from scratch. That's how much I care. I would make a good old tiramisu for that bitch. Like, I love her. I think I fall in love with people's spirit. I don't look at the outside a lot. I think the outside is a bonus to people's inside to me. I've had crushes in my life where a lot of people were like, really, them? I'm like, yeah. And what? Nicola, let's go, girl. I will treat you like a queen you are. This is the last question. Do you have any hidden talents? It's kind of hidden from everyone except the people who really know me. I write song lyrics. I've written for artists before. I've written for myself before. I just do it because I love to do it. I've been writing since I was young. I've been writing poems since I was young. One of my songs actually that I had out was from a poem that I wrote. And now I do songs in the genres of, I started in hip hop only, which, yeah, you look at me, you're like, girl, you're not a hip hop writer. I am, girl. Like, check it. I have my music out online, but I don't really feel comfortable sharing it on this channel yet, but I might later, because I'm working on a song right now that's a pop EDM song, actually, and it's gonna be really good. So I started in hip hop. I was raised in Atlanta, so that's all I knew, and then I branched out into pop and electronic. It's hidden, but it's also not so hidden because I have stuff out there on the internet and everything, but I only share it with a few people because mainly what I do it for is I collab and I co-write with people. I'm not a performer. I don't want to be a performer. That ain't my thing. And I don't like it. Like, the only place I'll perform is here on YouTube. I performed before with people who I've co-written with, and it's just so nerve-wracking. Like, people don't understand how hard it is. And they're like, oh, these people just make money from doing that. That ain't shit. And I'm like, it is shit though, because it's hard. You have to have breath control. You have to have stage presence. You got to have it all, dude. And it's really hard. So I guess that's a hidden talent of mine, is that I write song lyrics. I just got sent a new beat yesterday, actually, and it was a piano-based one, and it's really, really like in your feels type stuff. So I'm excited to write something around that. All right, guys. Well, now you know a lot about me. Actually, I'm kind of nervous that I shared that much information. I didn't say anything incriminating today, so I'm proud of myself. Thanks for listening. And if you made it all the way through this video, thank you so much, because I know I talk a crap ton. I know I talk a lot. Thank you so much. I'll see you in my next video.